Don't be a loser.
For the love of God.
I think we're getting so amazing at this, and I'm really here for it.
I am too. I think, yes, yes. We've made
And,
quite an improvement in that over the last couple of weeks.
and speaking of improvement, one of our clips or reels or whatever you call it got like 500 views.
Oh, fantastic. Yay,
Yes, I
milestone.
was like, that's like amazing.
Do you know which one?
It was the one we were talking about. Why are they changing the names of stuff and who's it helping and who cares?
Yeah.
Maybe other people feel the same way.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do. So that's fantastic. That's a big milestone for us.
I think it is.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, we've only been putting stuff out there for really a few weeks.
right, right.
So to get something that already has 500 views, bravo.
Unless it was James and Sabri just watching it 500 times.
Either way,
You're
tomato,
like,
tomato.
we're counting it.
Tomato, tomato.
But on to a somber topic, which I do have to mention
Uh-oh.
because it's so timely.
Yes.
Um, for our first point, I just have to bring up the Minneapolis school shooting and
Oh, yeah. That's
how
so
he
horrible.
had the they had that magazine that said for the children and then ha 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 ha, which makes me sick. But
Well,
I
they're
feel like we
mentally
have to
ill
cover that.
people. Yeah, these people are mentally ill and they need the proper attention and they're not getting it because people are too afraid to talk about it. It's like, I'm sorry, but it's not just this one who was that way. All the previous shooters, if you look at the list of them, they were all in the same category as this particular shooter.
So I definitely hear what you're saying. I don't think it's the category. I think it's the hate, whether it's someone who's purple, green, male, female, doesn't know, changing that. I don't think that that's what it is. I think it's someone who's angry and evil and has access to a gun and not necessarily legally.
Well, yeah,
Whether this
if you
person
look
has it
at who
legally
they
or not, I
are,
don't know.
you can't just ignore the pattern.
If there's hundreds of shootings or dozens of shootings and
But the ones that are going after the kids, look at the pattern. There's a
mm,
whole pattern behind this.
yeah,
And I'm not saying all of them are this way. All I'm saying is if there's a pattern, you can't ignore it for the sake of being nice.
and that's true. I just don't know if three or four people is a pattern.
Try six,
It's
seven.
something to, what's that?
It is a pattern. People in business,
Hmm.
you look at things, you look 4 to 8 quarters,
Hmm.
for a trend. If I'm seeing something happening 3, 4 times, it's a pattern. There's something
Hmm.
about it that you need to look into. If I'm seeing in business, hey, things are going in a certain direction, quarter after quarter after quarter, I need to investigate what is that pattern and why is that trend happening? It's not any other thing other than you need to understand it. You can't put a nicety on this. There's mental illness in this country that is not being addressed. And I hope everyone gets the help they need, but you can't ignore what is happening over and over and over again. Guns don't kill
Yeah,
people. I've owned a gun since I was 25 years old. My gun has never killed anybody. It's not the gun, it's the person. And so
that's
why did
true.
that
Just like
person
if
have it?
someone,
Where did they get it from? I am I'm 2A all the way.
hmm,
Never going to want to put any kind of blemish on that. But you have to understand where did all this come from? It didn't come from
right,
a gun. It came from a mentally ill person. Whether they were whether it came from themselves to do it, whether they were influenced to do it, whether it doesn't matter. Look at the pattern and address it. You can't there's
right.
no nicety to this. I don't care if I'm hurting other people's feelings. Good, whatever. People don't care if they hurt my feelings. Why am I going to care if they hurt somebody else's feelings? And guess what? You can't hurt my feelings because I don't care enough about you. You're not that
Right.
important to me.
Well, and I'm not
And
saying
look,
that I think it's the guns. I'm saying it's people who are mentally ill, but I don't know that we have enough information to paint that's what I'm saying. I hear that you're saying that's not it. It's something we have to look at,
yeah,
but I wonder, I just have to say, I went online today and was going to sign up for a subscription service for skincare.
Oh,
And then I decided not to. Within 10 minutes, I got an email from them
yeah,
saying, all right, well, now we'll give you 15% off if you sign up.
yeah,
And I thought, wow, but they can't see people's manifestos or a pattern in someone and stop that. I mean, I'm sure there's things that slip through
they
the crack, but
can.
again, if
They
they're
can.
looking at me in my house in Tampa, Florida, trying to, I'm going to buy this skincare subscription box or not, maybe there's some red flags, words like kill, kill, kill for the children, ha, 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 kill them now. Exactly. Thanks for bringing down the tone a little bit, James.
That was my
But
husband, and he's a firearms instructor. So he's getting ready for class. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
but
But no, I
but
mean, but in all seriousness, if you look, and I have to find it, I had it, and I didn't know we were going to talk about this, otherwise I would have shared it with you. It shows the last 6, 7 instances of this,
mhm.
what the commonality is between all of those maniacs.
Do you want to say what it is? Is it
Well, they're all
is
left,
it
they're all liberal.
I didn't know if it was liberal or what it was.
It's liberal, and I have to double check going, I don't want to just say
Okay.
it, but
Yeah.
there's another commonality.
Okay.
Like the last few we know were transgender. And again, nobody cares that you're transgender. Get it away from the kids. 5-year-olds don't need to know about you being transgender. What they need to know is, that they're safe in school, that their parents love them, and their teachers are going to be there for them. And then maybe parents need to not be so laissez-faire about it too, and make sure that they understand the protections that the school has for their kids. I
It
know
doesn't sound like there's any. I mean, I don't have children
well,
in
in
school. I have
Florida,
grandchildren, but
Florida,
I mean,
they have stuff, but that's why the number of homeschool kids is growing in the US.
yes.
The parents know, first of all, being in a public school, just in general, given what we're seeing about
Hmm.
what the teachers are teaching and the exposure they're getting to things that little kids don't need to be exposed to, that's a big reason why people are homeschooling. But then also just the whole safety issue. They're like, who's going to protect? No one can protect your kid better than yourself.
Or a retired serviceman who is great at shooting, great at defense, loves kids, wants to
A
volunteer.
lot
It's
of the
I don't
schools
even
in
think it's a
Florida,
money
Florida
thing.
has it where, they have this whole program around resource officers being at the school, and it's,
Hmm.
for the bad kids. It's really for the protection of all the kids to make sure that
Yes.
nothing from bad comes in from the outside.
Right.
And so, yeah, but Florida does do that, which Governor DeSantis is, awesome. But the fact that we have to even have that is sad in itself.
Amen.
Yeah. And again, I don't care what you do with your life as long as you're not hurting kids. If
Well,
you're
really, don't go shoot
miserable,
anyone.
yeah. Well, you know what? If you're miserable, that's your problem. Go get some help. You don't want to live, again, get some help, because I don't know why people wouldn't want to get the help that you need. And there's lots of services for people who need help, lots of free services. So,
That's a good point. The free,
yeah, there's free stuff.
because I think sometimes people say, "Oh, it's for this socioeconomical group or that one," but if there's free services,
There's free services, so if you're having a hard time, get the help that you need. If you hate
or
your
report
life,
someone that
yeah,
needs help.
yeah, exactly. Like there's tons of services out there. So get what you need and leave the kids alone. What did the kids in that school do to that maniac? Nothing.
Right.
Those were innocent
Right.
children. Why did you target kids? You know why? Because they know that's going to get them the most attention. They know that's going to raise their status. and make them look like some kind of martyr in some perverted mindset out there. You know,
Hmm.
and you know what? Again, nobody cares. Do
Right.
whatever you want to yourself. I don't care, but you're not going to try to promote it to my child. That's it.
Well, I mean, and again, violence is never the answer. And
No.
kind of on the point, because I have a lot of things about these. The mayor in Minneapolis said that we don't need your thoughts and prayers after this horrific shooting. And I think we need thoughts and prayers more now than ever. And I think that was cold, unfeeling. It's not
First of
saying it's
all,
the
the
only
mayor of
solution.
Minneapolis is one of the most liberal people you will ever get in politics. I really don't care what he has to say. He does not represent, I'm not from there. Thank God I don't have someone like that representing my district. But I have a feeling that a lot of people don't feel the way that he does in that district. And that
Sure.
was just his way of, you know, nudging and turning the screw on Christians because, it's okay to say bad things about Christians because for whatever reason.
Hmm.
You say anything about any other religion, oh my God, the world is going to fall, it's going to end. Oh, but you can say whatever you want about Christians, and you can say whatever you want
Hmm.
about Jesus and God and all this stuff, and you just have to accept it because for some reason Christianity is fair play, but Islam's not,
Right.
Judaism is not, Buddhism, none of the other religions are, but it's okay to pick on Christians. Yeah, and so you know what? I don't care what he has to say. He's a horrible person because he's not addressing what's going on. What he's doing is deflecting to make it a point of, oh, you know what? We need stronger
Hmm.
gun laws. I'm sorry, your state has extremely strict gun laws. And look what happened. It's not the gun laws. Bad people
Right.
are going to get guns no matter what. Just like drug addicts get drugs no matter what. And drugs are illegal. So
You mean
no,
they don't have a prescription for those
no, yeah, no, there's no prescription for cocaine and heroin that I know of.
or meth?
Yeah, meth, crack. Like, yeah, they're gonna do it. They're gonna find it.
Right.
So, people like that, they're just trying to get political points, right? Stir the pot, deflect from what the actual problem is,
Hmm.
and make conservatives look bad, make Christians look bad, and try to throw blame and deflect it from anywhere but where it needs to be. Because you know that if that was a white male conservative who did anything like that, it would be all over the news 24/7, nonstop. And they would just be like out of their minds talking about it. But it wasn't. And guess what? It went away. How quickly did the media bury this?
Well, it's
Pretty quickly.
interesting. Oh, here's the drinking game for those of you who have been following around, but it's you don't see my notes, but you segue right into the points. Rosie O'Donnell went online and said the Minneapolis shooter is a pro MAGA, blah blah blah, and she said it. The timeline was after the fact that he was not, or she, I don't know what they were, pro MAGA came out, and then this, I have to give her some credit here, even though it hurts a little bit because I used to love her. She
I
was
know.
always so funny and positive, and now she's just everything
Again,
angry, political,
yeah, it's
Trump.
not a
But
person you
she
ever
came
need to
on,
have in your life.
but wait, she came online and posted an apology for assuming it was MAGA.
But why would she? Considering none of the others were. None of the others. They've all been, so okay, and the last several have all been on the left, all perpetrated from the left.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
and,
know
and I
any
think
more.
I think these are extremist, obviously, but I think there's a difference between a liberal citizen and a liberal politician doing crazy things. I think for the most part, liberal citizens, the ones that I know, they're just trying to be good. I don't agree with the way they want to necessarily get there, but they're just trying to be good people. It's the politicians who are putting out this divide, putting out these
It's always the
rules, stealing.
politicians. It's the
Yeah.
politicians. It's absolutely.
And
Yeah.
and I'm saying this because I want it to be clear. I'm not trying to cause a further divide between the left and the right. I think we should all be Americans. I don't care if you're left or
That's
right,
the thing. We don't
left or
care.
white. I don't care if you're left or white, left or right, white or black, purple or blue. Maybe
Yeah.
just have cute shoes and be nice.
And yeah, I don't care. Just don't try to do anything to hurt kids. That's all.
Right. That falls under the umbrella of the cute shoes and being nice. You don't even have to have cute shoes to be nice. It's nicer if you do. Yeah.
But yeah, no. All right. Yeah, because I can go on for a lot longer on this, but I don't think you want me to.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
It's gonna go in a direction you may not want it to.
Okay. Well, there are people who are looking for autographs graphs later. So once we get to a point where people want to hear some topics, maybe they can request it if our
Yeah, I
500
think
plus viewers.
I think I've made it clear. I don't care what you do. Do whatever you want with your body, with you want it. I don't care. Stay away
Mhm.
from my kid. Don't try to bring it into the schools and get help if you need help. That's it.
I
And
I can't
and guess what?
understand.
I'm not going to coddle you. I'm not going to buy into anything that you want me to believe that's a delusion. I'm just not going to do it because it's not fair to you. Therefore, we're good. Go live your
So
life.
when you say it's not fair to you, I think that's very fascinating. Do you care to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I am a sane human and I
Okay.
understand reality from fantasy. And so I'm not going to live in your fantasy world. I'm going to live
Okay.
in the real world. I'm going to live in reality. And that's it. I'm not going to partake in your delusion. It's not fair to the person. It's not fair to me. And I don't care about being fair because if you've ever played a board game with me, you know that I'm going to win. Winning is important to me. But,
Right.
you also, when you're dealing with somebody who has problems, it's always best to be honest with them.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to be.
I guess if you were thinking about it this way, if you were a therapist or a doctor, you have to tell your patients hard things
Yeah,
or
but
point out, look,
even
you're,
some of them don't because look at all the money that's involved. I don't
yeah.
trust them. Look at all the money that's involved in this stuff. You
Hmm.
have a patient for life. You have a
Yeah.
patient for life when you find somebody who has that much distress, that much trouble, that much confusion, that much anxiety in their lives. It's a patient for life. Are you kidding? That's a gold mine for them.
I was thinking more of like diabetes, but yes.
Prescriptions for the rest of their life, therapy for the
Hmm.
rest of their lives, all of this stupid stuff. Therapy is fantastic. I wanted to be a psychiatrist. That was always my dream, but I went into
Oh,
business instead.
oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
But oh yeah, yeah, I love psychology. I love psychology,
Hmm.
psychiatry. But I also know that it's a gold mine. You're gonna find somebody like that who people need help, and you need to find someone who is not going to profit off of you. You need to find someone who actually wants to help you get better.
Yeah. They're out there, but it's probably hard to tell who's
It,
who,
well,
you know.
and that's the thing. Sometimes you need to be willing to
Hmm.
hear the truth from people. If you're only wanting to find someone who's going to agree with you and make you and affirm what you're feeling and what you want to do, you're not going to get better. You're going to keep living in that delusion. You need to find someone who's going to tell you the truth. And
Hmm.
it's tough to hear things you don't want to hear, but they're doing it for your good. For the good of you, for the good of humanity, they're going to tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you, yes, you are a cat.
I cannot understand in any way, shape, or form. I can't even understand someone playing along with that. I mean, maybe if you're playing make believe with a toddler and they say, I'm the teacher or you're the mom. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you hear about that genius who, hang on, I don't have it. I'm in the middle of something. Can you please go? Thank you. I love you. Did you hear about that genius who identified as a wolf?
I was just wondering if we had talked about this on a podcast because I was like, but you bring it home for those who have not heard it.
This genius identified as a wolf. He had like a whole wolf costume and like facial thing, that like all that stuff. His I'm not even going to say his name because it was some ridiculous name he made up to sound like he was a werewolf type of thing, like moron, like this person needed help. And so he decided he was going to try to go live with a pack of wolves, interact with them. And he figured they were just going to welcome him because he's a wolf. Apparently, this guy does not understand how wolves live in a pack and the actual wolf mentality and how they interact and what they do in nature. This guy was luring them to him by throwing raw meat. So thinking that they would they would let's take that as a gesture
Of friendship.
wanting to be part of their pack, like a total, like I can't believe what this guy is doing. So then he starts going on all fours and dressed up in a wolf costume.
I picture a wolf onesie, I think.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. And the wolves are like, are you kidding me right now, dude? Like, what do you think? Giving us raw meat is one thing, but trying to actually interact and become part of our pack, that's a totally different, different type of engagement. So he starts interacting with them. He's on all fours in his little wolf costume, and
Hmm.
they attack him, rightfully so. And they they destroy
Wolf's
his
got a wolf.
he's a wolf. They're wolves. What do you think they're going to do? Play patty cake with you? So you're now trespassing on their territory. You're
Right.
coming in like, oh, I'm a wolf too. Hey, buds, let's do this thing. And so I guess he got, I would imagine at that point when he saw what was happening, he actually got up off of his fours and started running on his two legs like a human instead of like a wolf.
Because
And
he's probably faster
they
that
were
way because he's a
attacking him.
human.
They were destroying his costume, and his mask, and all, like they bit him, they scratched him. They pretty much were like, "We're gonna kill you because you are not one of us." And
Yeah.
I don't know if he got the message or not. Probably not, because again, mental illness, and he needs actual professional help to help him through this. I'm sure in his mind, he's going, "Oh, I probably just have to do it a different way."
Or these weren't my wolves.
These weren't my
These
wolves. This wasn't my
they
pack.
were just jealous.
Yeah, I'm the real wolf and they're not. And so they attacked me. I don't know. But seriously, why would you do that? Why would you think that that is okay?
Right.
You know what? I'm sorry. I laughed when I read
I
that.
think I did too,
Yeah,
because
you have to, because
it's one thing if it was a
that's how
child.
insane it is.
Yeah. It's one thing if it's a child who doesn't know better and thinks,
Well, first
oh,
of
I'm
all,
just where would the child's parents be? But nonetheless, but yeah, I'm just saying.
it's
Was I too logical there when I said, where would the child's parents be?
yeah, no, and that's the other thing. Yeah. Where is this guy's parents? Like how I don't understand. Like I
Right.
no. Yeah, no, just crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Yeah.
I actually, which is a bizarre statement I'm going to make, but I
Yes.
actually have another onesie point on
Oh,
here.
okay.
There's a story, and it was on Florida Man.
Of course. Florida man.
And supposedly this guy was in Batman pajamas. I'm not sure if they were Batman onesies, but I like
Okay.
to think that it was a onesie. And on their um, security camera or something, they were sleeping or in bed. Maybe because he was Batman, he did not know or he did not sleep. But his wife was telling him that there's some people trying to break into some neighbors' cars, trying to break into our house.
Hmm.
So he went out as Batman and he said he had confidence because he was dressed as Batman and he stopped them.
No way. That's awesome.
I love that one. I love that use of a onesie.
It was a
And
grown
they're,
man, right? Like he
yeah,
got
so
used
it's
it as
like
a
you
wife.
dress for the job you want, I guess.
No, that's a good one. That's awesome.
So that was, I think, one of the times where, because usually Florida Man does not paint us with a great brush.
No. And rightfully so. There's a lot of stupid stuff that goes on in Florida.
I think it's because everybody's hot. I don't know.
I think, yeah. It's the heat. I think it's also just the people, just they're individuals. Like, we're not going
Amen.
to be told, they don't like to be told what to do, and they're not going to comply. They're not going to conform. They're going to just do their own thing, which is hilarious. So, oh, I love
I
that.
feel
Do you
like
know
some
where in
people might,
Florida that was? Do you know?
no,
Oh, okay. I
no.
didn't know if it was like Tampa, Miami, Orlando. The-
I feel like it wasn't in Miami because it would be way too hot there to be sleeping in Batman pajamas or onesies, allegedly.
Allegedly.
But that's just me guessing.
You never know. Yeah, maybe in
Exactly.
northern Florida.
Maybe they had their AC on really high so that he could,
So to
sleep the way he
accommodate for
wanted.
his desire to wear a Batman onesie to bed. Could be. That's hilarious. I love that one. That's a great.
Yeah, me too. Um, there's another story. They're parents of Adam Rain, if I'm saying his name right. He died by suicide in April, and
Hmm.
they're claiming it was a lawsuit against OpenAI that the teenager used ChatGPT as his suicide coach. This is, I
Oh,
think, one of several cases, but this is the only one I have heard about.
yeah. Yeah.
And this was, I think, maybe 16, something like that. Started using ChatGPT instead of going to friends, and they claim, or his attorney claims, and I'm wording it that way so someone doesn't come on here and sue and say this wasn't, but they claim that he had said, "Should I talk to my mother?" And then ChatGPT said, "No, don't involve her. Don't worry her."
Do they have like the whole transcript, like the whole thing? Because you can save all of that stuff. And
it sounds like they do something. So the parents are really saying if he wasn't on ChatGPT, they think their son would be alive. And then they went on to say that a lot of parents, which I would say I would agree with, don't realize they think it's just another form of Google.
no, it's not.
But I don't think a lot of parents realize that. So maybe this can shed some light on there to try to
Oh,
make sure
that's
you
so
know what your kids
sad.
are doing.
Oh,
But what a waste of a young
oh
life
my goodness.
that could have been
It-
fixed.
That is so sad. Like, was there any indication of why he was depressed or why he felt he
I
needed to do
think
that?
I think they even said something like it had said I can help you write your suicide note, but I'm not sure. I mean,
Oh,
it was very
that's so
upsetting.
horrible. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's the thing. It's technology. You should not be putting 100% of your trust in technology. You don't know what it's coming from. It's crazy. Um,
Well, I mean, the person programming it or who had it could be someone, there's a saying something like, why would you take advice from someone who you wouldn't want to be or who you wouldn't want to emulate?
yeah,
You don't know who's putting that
that's
information
the
in
thing.
there.
Like, it's crazy. Yeah, that's interesting because I had a Bible study last night with a new
Uh-huh.
group. I just joined a small group from our church. And one of the ladies brought it up and said, brought up ChatGPT specifically. And she said, I found myself going to ChatGPT instead of going to God. Like whenever she needed something or she was saying, she was like, I use ChatGPT myself for different things. It's like, oh,
Hmm.
I need a job description for, a marketing manager, in financial services. It writes a beautiful one for me. That's perfect. Things like that. But, people are going to them for other things. Like she was going to them for more personal things and saying, like,
Hmm.
how should I handle this situation? Or what should my response be? And she caught herself and she was like, wait a second, I'm going to and a machine instead of going to God for my answers. So
Right.
she stopped going to ChatGPT for anything that was not like if it was a personal thing or something that she knew would not be correct to go to ChatGPT for, she stopped doing it. And she said,
Hmm.
it's making a difference for her. She's realizing like I was turning myself away from God, where that's where I should have been putting myself, and other people in the room were saying, yeah, you don't know where the information is coming from. You don't know who's behind it, who's programming it, who created it, who developed it, who's really feeding it information. And so you do need to be very careful with AI. I mean, personally, I don't know why people are so thrilled with all of this technology. I would think the movie Terminator would be a good wake
Ding,
up
ding, ding,
call
ding,
for
ding,
them.
ding, ding.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so,
Maybe they're too young to see it at an impressionable age like we were.
but yeah, I mean, yeah, but I'm like, yeah, but I think the way she described it was so perfectly said because it's easy to just say, "Hey, I'm having a fight with my mom. What should I do? This is the situation," and have a robot, like some technology, tell you instead of saying, "You know what? Let me do the work and understand why I'm having these situations, these problems with whoever, or I'm in a really tough situation. What should I do?" It's all
That
in
would never occur to me to ask ChatGPT a question.
the,
I would be like directions, or um, I've done it a couple times where I've written something and I'm like, I don't quite like the way that's worded,
yeah.
and
Well,
like an editor.
you and I used it for our logo, right?
Hmm.
It was
But we
great.
put ideas in
Yeah,
and had it
yeah,
come up.
exactly. And so, I mean, it's got purpose, but it should not be taking a bigger chunk of your life other than, hey, I need a logo. Hey, I'm writing this email. How can I make this email better? Or,
Hmm.
things like that. So there's a lot of things we don't know a lot about AI yet and the impact that it really has on our brains. And
Hmm. I
clearly people are very impressionable and people want advice. People, if they're lonely, if they don't know where else to go, they're going to go to a machine, and the machine is not going to take into consideration the human element.
right.
Not going to take into consideration compassion, you know, knowledge, theology, religion, God. They're not love. They're not, it's just going to
Moral
be,
compass. Hmm.
it's ones and zeros. That's all it's binary, ones and zeros, ones and zeros. That's all it is. And that's what you're going to
Hmm.
get. And then people latching onto it is very concerning. Like, again, I
Hmm.
love ChatGPT for the stuff I use it for, but I'm not going to say,
Hmm.
put in there, what should I do about my son who doesn't know how to listen to me? No.
Yeah, yeah. I,
No.
I never thought, I mean, I was mind blown, but I wouldn't use it for that. I mean, I think I would talk to God, talk to a
Yeah.
friend, pray, listen
Well,
to a
that's the
positive
point. And that's what you should
podcast.
be doing. Right.
Hmm.
And so it's becoming for a lot of people a false idol,
Yes.
which again is a warning.
Hmm.
Be mindful of these things. So, yeah.
Kudos to your classmate or friend for recognizing that she was doing it
Oh
and putting a
yeah, yeah,
stop to it.
she's so amazing. Yeah. Yeah, she's a
Hmm.
fantastic lady, great mom, wonderful
Hmm.
wife, and she's just one of those wonderful people. You would like her a lot.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked your friend that we had lunch with the other day and her
Yeah.
son.
Yeah, that was so great.
Tom
That
got a
was,
real kick out of him.
oh my gosh, that little boy was adorable.
Yes,
He liked my jewelry, he liked my dress. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're like my favorite little boy right now. Take
I
notes,
know.
Aubrey.
He said I was his like favorite, looked like his favorite mom friend. I was beautiful, and he held my hand.
Yeah, he gave me a hug when they left. Oh,
Oh, I think he gave me a hug. He also scared me when we were at the one store. I can't remember. He had a mask and he came up and was like, "Boo!"
that was hilarious. I'm not
It
gonna lie.
was.
I couldn't
He's
stop
nine,
laughing about
viewers.
that.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh."
You really were scared. That was awesome.
Well, to be fair, I wasn't expecting that,
No, that's why it was hilarious.
and
I
I've been known to have an animated face or two. Yeah, yeah,
think both of us are guilty of that.
yes, yes, yeah. But he was a cutie.
He was. Oh, yeah. I'm so excited that we're going to be doing more things with them.
Yes,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
Let me see. This was something. Oh, I'm trying to keep an eye on the time.
Yes. Yes.
I think I'm going to end with something that might be, I don't know, you might take it not light.
Do you want me to?
Well, I'm going to let you take it where you want, but I'm thinking it's maybe a little bit of a lighter one.
Oh, okay.
Um, you were telling us this very interesting, there I go. this very unique story about Sabri's school, and I think it was Sea Shepherds. And one of the teachers that was a Sea Shepherd and was
Oh,
recruited.
yeah, yeah. This gym teacher at Sudbury
Okay.
School, he was a sea shepherd. So though, like, so he was on those boats and like trying to stop the whaling boats from getting the whales, which was so fascinating because we watched the show, like Whale Wars, I think it was called. And
Okay.
I'm guessing that's what it is. I don't remember, but it sounds like it would have been that. And
Hmm.
these guys and gals on these like speed boats, like fast boats, trying to cut in front of the big whaling boats, like so
Right.
they would, so the whales could get away or distract them or something. It was just fascinating. And he was one of those guys, like who was on those boats. And I think he said they were filming while he was doing it. Um, Again, don't quote me 100% on that. I just was so fascinated listening to the fact that he was one of those guys that
Hmm.
it's like, wow, that is so, so cool. And he's just an amazing, amazing man and great coach, great gym teacher. Sudbury loves him, which I'm so thrilled about because, being athletic is important. Not trying to be like, superstar with all the sports, but just the fact that you want to be athletic and want to play at recess, you want to do things during gym class. And he really knows how to connect with the kids. He does a great job with that. He's a phenomenal PE teacher. But yeah, I thought it was so cool. And so,
Hmm.
because I always I was like, wow, how do people even get involved in all that? And I'm like, and there he is. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
so cool, so cool.
And he was recruited to come to the school, right?
I
From another
believe
country?
so. I think somehow he got connected with the school because
Hmm.
school Sudbury goes to is for safety reasons. I'm not going to say where he goes to school.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point.
Yeah, but the school
Yeah.
he goes to is very compassionate towards animals.
I
And
love that.
so, yeah, and humans, but
Hmm.
they really understand how kids and animals connect. And
Hmm.
so the founder is phenomenal. She's an amazing woman and she's just so in tune with wanting to do what's right for the kids, but at the same
Hmm.
time doing what's right for animals. And she sees how the two are connected. And,
Hmm.
especially, I mean, we all see it when a little kid is upset, a dog goes over to them to try to cheer them up and help console them and let them know they're not alone.
Hmm.
And the kid responds to that, right? I mean, we've all seen it.
Right.
And just having that presence of mind to understand that there's a correlation and, there's a beauty in helping kids become their best, but also animals are being protected. I think, I think it's great. Sudbury's always like, Mom, I want a dog. I'm like, we had two boxers before you were born. Like, we're not doing that again right now. Maybe when you're older. But yeah, but Sudbury School in general is phenomenal. Oh my God, the academics at that school is off the
That's
charts. I mean,
that's so cool.
yeah, oh my, everything is tailored to the kid. Like, whatever it's just like, oh, okay, you're super smart in math, but maybe you're just at your actual level where you should be for the other subjects. Not a problem. They'll take you to where you need to be for math. They have, yeah, their gifted program, I understand is amazing. It just, everything about that school is phenomenal and they do it for what's best for the kids. But then again, they have that whole side for the animals, which is so cool. Yeah.
I love
Somebody's
that.
gonna like they have a field trip going to a sanctuary next week so they can see the animals there and interact with them and learn more
Mhm.
about them and just see like, okay, how can you as a little kid be a champion for animals that are being abused, animals that are, and they don't go into like the graphic, but they want you to know like these are all rescues. And we rescued them because they weren't being treated properly by people. So how do we stop that? Because I don't care who you are, if you don't have like a little bit of a fiber in your being that says you do want to protect animals because they are helpless,
Right.
then there's something wrong with you. So while I'm not a vegetarian, I'm not a vegan, I'm not anything like that. To be very
You're not
honest.
a pescatarian?
I'm not,
Disclaimer.
no, I'm not. But I don't care. People can do whatever they want with that. I respect people with their different diets. I'm not going to give up bacon. I am sorry. It's like the perfect food. you know, but I,
That's what I would not say too.
yeah. I know you're different from me on that, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But I don't want animals to be abused. I don't want to see any
No.
get hurt. Just like I wouldn't want to see any child get hurt. And so,
Right.
there's, I don't know, it's just amazing that there's people who really dedicate their lives to like that gym teacher. Middle of the Pacific Ocean, like stopping whaling boats from to his
Right.
own peril, right? Like
Hmm.
he could easily be killed. He could have been injured.
Right.
Saving the whales was so important. And you're home cheering for them. That was the best part when you're watching that. You were like, when
Yeah.
they actually stopped it, because they showed the ones that they stopped and they showed the ones that they don't. And when
Right.
you don't, you
Right.
just are like, oh, because you can, yeah, it's just horrible. But
Yeah.
yeah, and you're like, when they stop and you're like, yeah. And so,
I really like that. Thanks
yeah,
for taking it to a positive, happy place.
yes, yes. I can do that. I can do that.
There's a fun game. It's like baby or puppy, like, and they'll have like a puppy in a costume and a baby in a costume, and they'll put it side by side. And it's not always the baby and it's not always the puppy. And people might
Oh,
disagree, but
oh, so who's
it's
cuter in the costume?
so like it could be like a pea pod costume,
Yeah,
and there's
so
a
who
baby
looks
in a pea
cuter, the
pod
cookie or
costume
the
and a puppy.
baby? Oh, that's actually really sweet. I need to look for that. I didn't
Yeah,
see that.
it's ridiculously cute. Either way, even
These
if
are
you're
hard
like,
to
sometimes they
read.
tie.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, not all kids are cute. Oh, I'm just gonna
That
say
makes me think of that Seinfeld of, oh, let me see the baby.
it.
Do you remember that episode? And then it was ugly, and then they're like, oh,
Hmm. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I'm like, and I try not to show it. I mean, let's face it, not all, hey, it's just the truth. There are ugly people in the world.
but sometimes those ugly babies grow into
I'm not saying
really
they're going to be
attractive
ugly
people.
when they're older. I'm just saying, as a baby, that is not an attractive baby. It's not a cute baby.
A lot of babies do look like aliens.
They do, especially when they're first born. But then they
Yeah,
grow into it. But then sometimes
yeah.
I'm like, ooh, that's like a 2-year-old. Ooh, like,
Well, when we were at lunch the other day, there was,
oh,
I don't know, 4 or 5 babies, and they were all adorable
yeah,
with cute outfits, cute families with them.
yeah. No, those were all really cute babies. Yeah, it's hard to
Hmm.
find an ugly baby, but they exist. We've seen them.
Yeah. But then usually you can kind of trick people by putting it in a cute outfit.
Well, that's why there's a saying, a face only a mother could love.
Yeah,
Mothers are blind to their children's beauty or lack thereof.
very true.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, but yeah.
So I have more things to cover, but we'll cover it our next time
Okay.
because we're getting into a time constraint.
Yeah, not a problem.
But
I think I
we
think we
will,
I think we talked about a lot of good things.
I think we did. I'm not gonna lie, I think this was a good one too. I mean, sure, I'm partial.
They're all good ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're awesome. Just ask us.
True story.
I am really excited that when I saw that with the 500 likes, and I don't know if I saw it on my desktop or on my phone, but I fangirled myself and you.
Yeah, well, yeah, we need to side note, we need to figure out a way so that I can see them too.
Well, it was either on like Instagram, like
Yes.
not on the back end with my 51%. It was just out there, and then it said that, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, no, we'll have to figure out a way so that I can see that stuff too because and engage and interact more with it. But
Hmm.
because I'm good for that stuff. I just don't
Cool.
want to do all the other stuff you're doing.
I just counted as stretching my brain and growing and getting smarter, although I'm already pretty darn smart, but there's always room for
There's
improvement.
always, yeah, that's why we read. That's why we learn.
Hmm.
No, that's amazing. I'm so excited about that. So I'll go
Yeah,
to I'm going to try to figure out which one it is, and I think it's awesome. Next time we see each other, we need to celebrate.
I like it. I
Which
like it.
we are seeing each other. I told you to reach out to James, and you guys knocked it out in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I was like, well, what a difference. Because Tom's always like, why don't we get together? I'm like, I give her a bunch of dates and then she ignores me. And then when you said the secret sauce of just go right to James, I was like,
Yeah, that's what Sandy does. I I
yeah.
I got too much
Apparently
going
Sandy's
on.
smarter than me, but
Yeah.
you clued me in, so we got it together.
I just have too many other things going on. I'm like, yes, I want to do this, but I don't have the calendar in front of me when I get the text, and then I just forget.
Not me, I just have nothing. It's just a big beige.
I'm like, well, I'm at work or wherever, and I'm like, I don't have the home calendar to see in front of me. I'm like, and then I just forget about it. I'm like, I gotta watch Columbo.
Less Columbo, more planning, but I don't even need you for the planning anymore. I'll just go to James, so
Go to
it's
James,
fine.
unless you would something like you. If it's just you and me, that's different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, that's cool. Yeah, no, I'm excited about that. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
yes. Well, I will sign off and I'll do our
You'll kick
shout
us off?
out. Yeah. So don't be a loser.
For the love of God.
I'm signing off. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Helen.
And goodbye, viewers.
Until next time.
Until next time.